Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Saturday. It is February the 11th, 2017. Gonna look at the stakes races on today's program, races 3 and 8. But before I get onto that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections from racetracks across the world. So let's get on to it. Races 3 and 8. The third race from Aqueduct, and this is, out of the two stakes races on today's program, this is my favorite one. It's the second running of the Haynesfield Stakes, purse $100,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, New York breds. Field of 5 horses going the mile 16th distance. I say this is my favorite because it's, it was an easier race to find a top selection. The other race I had to, it took quite a while, But they're going a mile 16th this one, and my top pick in this one, I really like the 4 horse. Number 4, Send It In. Gonna go 4-2-3, 4-2-3, but number 4, Send It In. 2-5, Manuel Franco is on this Todd Pletcher trained 5-year-old gelding out of Big Brown. Most recently, this horse had a start on New Year's Eve at Aqueduct, mile 16th in the Alex Robb. Horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. Stalked the pace that day, got the lead in the stretch, and then took off clear. A very, very nice victory for this one. Start before an optional 100 at Aqueduct, mile 70 yards on the inner track, December the 9th. Horse finished second by a neck. It was his first start since last inner track meet, since last March, so he needed the race. This horse is a big fan of the inner track. He's only lost once, and that was that one time. Start before it, March 12th here at Aqueduct, mile 70, an optional 6-2 claimer. Horse won by 5 1/4 lengths on lead all throughout, kept opening up from the rail. Speed from the rail, this horse had it. Easy victory. And then in the lounge race, 67,000 Aqueduct, mile 70, February the 11th. Horse won by a neck, closed up to get that victory that day. This horse is a little versatile, can go to the lead or could sit back. Looking at the pace in this race quickly on paper, he has some speed. The 2 horse definitely has some speed, so maybe he'll sit second off the 2 horse. But, I really like him here. He'll be my best bet of the day from Aqueduct. So to recap my bets from the third from Aqueduct, it's a second Haynesfield. Going to go with the 4 horse, Send It In. Going to go 4-2-3 in the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 8 from Aqueduct. The 8th race is the 39th running of the Hollie Hughes Stakes, purse $100,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, New York breds. Field of 9 horses traveling the distance of ground of 6 furlongs here. 6 furlongs on the inner dirt. And I show that diagram. It gives me a second to look down at my notes. So that's why. My top pick in this one, like I said a little earlier, this race is a little bit, it was very difficult to find a horse. And I think I found one with the 4 horse, number 4, Candid Desire. I'm going to include this horse here into Superfecta. I'm going to go 4-8-5-2, 4-8-5-2. Number 4, Candid Desire, as my cat is fighting with the other one. Number 4, Candid Desire, Antonio Gallardo, 5-1. Gary Siaka trains his 5-year-old gelding out of Yes It's True. Most recently, this horse had a start on the 14th of January. 6 furlongs in her track and an allowance race for 6-7. Horse won by 3.5 lengths, got the lead at the 8th pole, and then took off clear. Very, very nice victory in his 11th inner track start. Start before at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs in her track, December the 10th, allowance race 6-7. This horse finished second by 1.5 lengths. He had a horrible start that day and really couldn't recover after that. Really, he just really couldn't recover. If this horse didn't stumble, I think he could have won. But, hopefully this horse could have a good trip today. Start before, he had a very horrible trip. That was on November the 16th, Aqueduct main track, 6 furlongs, last race for 67. This horse finished third by 1 3/4 lengths that day. Had to check a few times. It was wide. It was in traffic. It just wasn't his day to win. He's back to facing state company horses today. I think he should have a good start here today, so I'll use him as a top pick. So to recap my bets for race number 8 from Aqueduct, it's third, 9th, Hollie Hughes. Going to go with the 4 horse, number 4, Candid Desire. Going to go 4-8-5-2, 4-8-5-2. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5.